This is not and cannot be a technical demonstration of how to actually do implementation of the branding, of putting the colors in, putting the graphics in, right? This is a high level about what you should be thinking about and why it matters. Professional communication is important because many of us who here, by show of hands, has gone to a job interview at least once in person. Yep. So in the morning, you picked your brightest, most outrageous Hawaiian shirt, right? And your loudest tie. You didn't do your hair. You just left it all mussed and looking like you should have washed a couple days ago. And you show up at the interview, right? No. You put some attention into your appearance. And this is the exact same thing. It's not an interview with a boss. This is an interview with a potential member or someone else who could see something that you're putting out with Toastmasters on it, and you want them to get the right and best impression. Core values. I'm sure some of you might be able to, spiel this off without even having it written down in front of you. Integrity, respect, service, and excellence. These are the core values, and I'm trying to make sure I memorize these and I can rattle them off right away without plotting, without stumbling. Because this is part of the Toastmasters promise. You promise to do Toastmasters activities with integrity, being honest and true and doing the right thing, with respect, caring about how it affects others and what they feel about it, service, being of use and service to others to help them get the benefits, and excellence. Who doesn't want excellence? We want to be better speakers, we want to be better presenters, and I think as part of this, we should be better representers of the brand. Like I said in my opening, what's professional communication? Attention to detail. It's not just the words that you put on the page. It's how you put them on the page that also matters. If you don't adhere to the brand standards, it could be distracting, it could be confusing. So be intentional. Make sure you review it. I always look over what I've done, and sometimes I change it 2 or 3 times. I'm being intentional. I'm making sure I review what I've done. Did I do it like I wanted to? Limited use of fonts and colors. The brand guidelines have very specific mentions about this. And what you want to avoid is being distracting, regardless of the branding guidelines. So what is the Toastmasters brand? The Toastmasters brand has colors, fonts, logos, it has catchphrases, it has taglines. Why is this there? It's for recognition and consistency. If someone sees something and is following the brand rules, they can recognize that as being related to Toastmasters through the proper use of logos and the colors. This gives us a good and professional level of consistency that is recognizable across districts and clubs, if we do it right. The colors: red, blue, gray, and yellow. Well, not just red, blue, gray, and yellow, but specific versions of it. The brand manual has specific colors with all the information you need to know to input it into the program you're using. Who here remembers getting an 8-color box of crayons? And then once you got a 64 box of crayons in front of you, what did you do? You used every single one of them, right? I see you, Kim. Yes, you did. This is not what you're going to do with the brand guidelines. By using every crayon in the box, it's going to be busy, it's going to be distracting, it's not going to get the message through. So work with the brand colors and keep that to that limit. Fonts. Toastmasters specify specific fonts, again, for consistency. They have Gotham and Montserrat. Montserrat is a free font you can get. Myriad Pro and Source Sans Pro. Arial, you can have anywhere. You don't want to start picking every single font you can just because your word processor now has it. I remember DOS word processors that had maybe 3 fonts on it. Just like the crayon box, don't go crazy. Logos. This is a big pet peeve of me when people are using logos or photos. I see that it gets stretched wider than it is tall, taller than it is wide, or it gets resized so many times and saved, it gets fuzzy and loses detail. We don't want to do this. The brand manual has specific guidelines of how to use the logos. This is important because it represents our brand of Toastmasters, and we should follow it. When in doubt, go back to TI and download it again. When you do size it to fit onto the page in the area you want it, make sure you size it in the same way, width and height at the same time. That's either locking the aspect ratio or sizing equally. There's some other terms there that once you get into learning how to do the actual detail work, it'll be there. All right. Would you come, if this was your first view of an invitation for a Toastmasters club, would you come to this meeting? I think Kim would, just to slap him around. It's not using the right fonts. It's got obnoxious red colors in there and with the black. The logo is stretched. It's also low resolution. It looks ugly. This is not what we want to do. If you're starting from scratch, you might not have to. If you go to the Toastmasters website, up in the search box, type template and search. There are PowerPoints, there are documents for meeting agendas, for officer meeting minutes, lots of stuff you can start with. It's a big help on getting that right. When we follow the brand guidelines, we're showing respect to the brand. If we talk about the branding guidelines and make sure that we follow them, we're showing integrity. And by giving professional documentation and communication, we're showing excellence. So please, next time you're putting out a press release, a flyer for the club, read the brand manual first and make it professional. Back to you, Kim.